What's happening, YouTube family? Mikhail here with another video, and I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but I have a great explanation, which I'm not gonna go into a lot of details about, but yeah, I ended up filming a whole bunch of stuff that ended up having to be deleted because life. Anyways, guys, I'm so happy to be back with a new series. I'm actually late posting this. I wanted to post this Thursday, but again, life. Anyways, I wanted to post this Thursday because this is going to be part of the new series of videos that I'm going to be doing. As you know, I try to do a vlog once a week, and then I have the Maker Moment series, and now we are going to have something for Thursday, and that's going to be Tech Thursdays. And I'm going to call it down until I can come with some snappier name that is more specific to me. So yeah, I guess just bear with me on the name. So for the first episode of Tech Thursday, I want to talk to you guys about one of my favorite cameras right now. I actually just got this, and this is what I wanted to do the video last Thursday, but let me show you what we have in store. Today we're going to be talking about what I believe is the best camera in the market today for under $1,000, the X-T30. And if you remember, I made a video, and I'm gonna link it over here. I called it the best all-around camera, and I made it about the X-T3, and I now believe that the X-T30 may be giving the X-T3 a run for its money, mainly because the price difference. You guys, this thing is under $900 and it packs a lot of punch. In fact, let's go over the features, over the specs right now, so we can get that out of the way and then get talking about who is this camera actually for. So this camera has a 26.1 megapixel APS-C sensor, and I get it that a lot of people will be turned off by the APS-C thing, but in reality, like I said in the video before, I've taken my X-T3, which is also an APS-C sensor camera, out to shoot weddings, and I've come back with tremendous imagery. So I feel like the whole APS-C versus full frame argument, it's kind of dead to me personally. I understand the low light performance, but this performs terrifically in low light, and I have no complaints about this or the X-T3. Other than that, this camera has a hybrid AF system that has 425 phase detection points across the sensor. 425. You know what that means? That means no more blurry pictures, or at least no excuse for it. And it has eye and face detect. That means you can pinpoint the eye on someone, and this thing will track that. Focus on that, and all you have to do is shoot. You guys, the bar has been lowered. And it's marvelous. Another little feature from the photo point of view of this camera is what I believe is one of the most satisfying things about this camera is this little lever here, this little lever on the side. If you pull it, the world's cutest pop-up flash. It's so satisfying to do. Listen. Oh, one more time. Ah, so good. Anyways, yeah, I believe that's it for photo specs. It's a solid camera. I took it out today and I took a few shots on my buddy Ryan with it, and the images are really great. I shot on a flat profile because I really like to push things when I edit. So this thing did marvelously. I will tell you, we'll go over the stuff that I'm not a fan of, the stuff that I'm not in love with. But now, before we do that, I guess let's go over video specs. I'm gonna put the camera down because I feel like I'm gonna drop it. Instead, I'm going to grab my coffee. The X-T30 has 4K recording at 30 frames per second, which is unlike the X-T3, which is the big brother to this camera, which does 60 frames per second in 4K, but still really great. It does 120 frames per second in 1080p, which is definitely great. There's a slight crop, but you will hardly notice it. I didn't realize it was there until I watched another video that pointed it out, and yeah, I guess I have to talk about that now. But yeah, there's a tiny little crop, but the image is still fabulous. It has 200 megabits per second recording, which is awesome. It's not quite 400 like the X-T3, but 200 is still a lot. I believe that's more than the Sony a7 III, which gives you a lot of detail and you can manipulate the images a lot more, especially when you're color grading. Again, as I aforementioned, this camera is an APS-C sensor camera, and if that's a turnoff for you, I'm sorry. You're kind of lame. But seriously, again, I want to repeat myself on that, is that I feel like the APS-C sensor versus full frame debate is kind of like beating a dead horse for me. I'm not gonna get into it if you like it or not. I feel both have their advantages, and I don't see how the APS-C sensor is in any way stopping me from producing great imagery, or great videos. So that's that. I want to show you guys some simple footage from the first time that I actually took the camera out and recorded with it. This is some footage of my friend Ryan. We met in the middle of downtown Marysville and shot a little bit of B-roll for this video, and as you can see, the image is just really, really nice. The camera has a preset or a film thingy mabubber, a film preset called Eterna, and it already looks really, really great, and it makes things really, really easy to edit. I particularly like Eterna more than the F-Log that comes included with this camera, but whatever floats your boat. This footage was shot at 120 frames per second at 1080p, which is, as you can see, really, really great. It's really smooth, what you've come to expect to see when you see 120 frames per second footage. Is just that really, really smooth, slow motion type of footage that we all know and love. It was also shot using the Fujifilm kit lens 18 to 55mm, which doesn't have a constant aperture. It goes from 2.8 to f4 as you zoom in, but I wanted to make sure that I use a lens that was more accessible than the nicer Fuji lenses. So as you can see, the image is still really nice. It's really, really sharp. That lens is actually surprisingly sharp, and I don't mind it at all. I think it's a really nice lens to kind of keep in your back and get B-roll with, especially if you just gotten this camera. Okay, now let's get on to the things that I don't particularly love about this camera. The first one being the size. Let me grab this thing here. This is the Fujifilm X-T30, and this here is the Fujifilm X-T3. As you can see, the size difference is really, really obvious. The X-T3 is much bigger than the X-T30, and a lot more comfortable to hold my eye at. And even though it doesn't have the grip, it's still more comfortable to hold than the X-T30. I recommend getting the hand grip that comes with this. Fuji makes one. It's like $120, but you can also get the aftermarket one, the custom ones, the other brands ones for like as low as $30 to $40. So yeah, you can get that, and that will help you put a plate under the camera that you can easily mount into a tripod, and it will help your grip a little better, because the camera, as you can see, is pretty small. Something else I don't love is that it doesn't come, the audio that they gave you is 2.5 millimeter jack, and you need a converter for it. And you can also monitor your audio via the USB, but as you can see, you also need a converter for that. I think other than that, the only thing is the flip screen. So like it flips down and up and down, but it doesn't flip to the front. So if I wanted to like use it for vlogging, I can't rely on the screen. I mean, I can rely on the autofocus because it's really great, but I wish cameras would just, like, if they're going to give you a flip screen, I wish they would make it proper, not up, not down. Make it to the side and that it flips all the way. I think that's the way to go. I don't know if Canon has a proprietary thing on that, but yeah, chop camera manufacturers. This is, yeah, crazy. Anyway, so the question, who is this camera for? I believe this camera is for anyone that's trying to get into video and photo and want to do a little bit of a nicer job than someone that would just want to get a picture to take snapshots on a Sunday afternoon with the family hanging out, right? So like, not that person couldn't or wouldn't need this camera, but I feel like this camera packs so much power in it that I feel like you'll be wasted if you're just using it as like your leisure camera. Nevertheless, it's a fantastic camera to have. It's fast. Oh, something I forgot to add on the photo side, it shoots 8 frames per second, so you're guaranteed to document that fast action. 8 frames per second is really, really respectable, so yeah, it holds. Anyways, yeah, I believe this camera, it's for the people out there that are trying to make films, make them nice, people that are interested in photography and want to get a nice image carrying a small camera, and the travelers. I feel like if you're trying to make travel films, this is the camera to have because the small profile, the small footprint, especially if you start pairing up with other Fuji lenses, which are also really small. So yeah, that's my review and my first impressions and thoughts about the Fujifilm X-T30. Please let me know in the comments below if you like this review or if there's something that I forgot to add about the camera that maybe you would want somebody else to see when they go to the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also ring the notification bell so you're notified when the next video goes up. For now, I'll see you guys next time. Mikhail out.